And now, a few moments with Dave Shugarts, author of Secrets of the Widow's Son, and contributor to the upcoming book,
Secrets of the Lost Symbol.
Hi, I'm Dave Shugarts. I'm author of Secrets of the Widow's Son and a contributor to the upcoming book, Secrets of the Lost Symbol. This is all in an anticipation of Dan Brown's new novel, The Lost Symbol, which is due out September the 15th, and today is the September the 4th, 2009. This is Hunch number 2. I'm going to talk about the Temple of Solomon and certain ways that figures in or may figure into the to the lost symbol. And again, this is a hunch. This isn't a prediction exactly because nobody really can know what will be in the book, but I'm giving it some of my best guesses that I've derived from what I've read over the years and clues that have been left around. The thing to know about the Temple of Solomon, it figures in. First of all, we should always remember that the book that's coming out by Dan Brown was once going to be called the Solomon Key, and for about 2 years that's the way it rested. The publishers had said that was the title. And so people chased around looking for what could be the meaning of the Solomon Key. And the thing about that is that there's lots of stuff to find, and a lot of it relates to the great magical symbols which come from occult history and long-standing legends. And so there are plenty of things to see there in that vein. And there's a famous book, The Key of Solomon the King, which is a kind of a grimoire, translated by a fellow named S. Liddell McGregor Mathers, which purports to tell you all of the symbolic lore that could signify so many things. Solomon may have held the key to a great treasure, of course, his legendary treasure, and maybe that's what you're looking for. And then, as always with occult matters, you might be looking for the magic elixir, the philosopher's stone, which may well be the key of life everlasting or the transmutation of lead into gold. And all that is a true part of the actual meaning of the Solomon Key or the Key of Solomon. But when you hear about Solomon, you go right to another legend, which is Solomon's Temple. And that temple is in the Bible and goes way back in the early history of the Jews. And it was said to be built by Solomon. And then it was destroyed once by the Babylonians. And then it was rebuilt. And then it was kind of rebuilt again by the Emperor Herod. So it sort of became known as Herod's Temple. And so depending on how you look at it, there were either 2 or 3 temples of Solomon. All of them believed to have been built where the Temple Mount is now, and that it, of course, started the legends that, for instance, that the Knights Templar, when they occupied that ground in the Crusades, may have found the legendary treasure of Solomon and spirited it away, and so there have been stories about that, and of course it may figure in the legend of the Rosslyn Chapel, which is in the Da Vinci Code. Again, the Temple of Solomon was depicted very carefully in the Bible, so that people over the last, at least 1,500 years could read these descriptions of the exact dimensions and layout of the temple. With the inner sanctum, the Holy of Holies, and the Ark of the Covenant residing there, and quite a number of the things that became legends themselves. Like in the legend of Freemasonry, all Freemasons love the Temple of Solomon because they consider themselves descended from the very builders of that temple, and they carry on the traditions of those builders. And the great 2 columns of the temple are legends in their own right in Freemasonry, and the builder, the architect of that temple, Hiram Abiff, is a legend in Freemasonry and has his own legends that were built by the Freemasons, not by the Bible. Now, in history, the Temple of Solomon was revered by many great people, and not the least was Isaac Newton, who studied it very carefully and even sketched what he was participated in trying to conjure up a layout or a model of the Temple of Solomon. So these things mattered to great minds. The Temple of Solomon came up into the period of history where a Jewish historian named Flavius Josephus, he took on a Roman name to sort of play along with the Romans, and he actually witnessed the final fall of the temple in 70 A.D. when the Romans burned it. And so he relates the burning of the actual burning of the temple as an eyewitness. But further, according to at least one website by a guy named Lambert Dolphin that I found, Josephus also relates a story about a high priest who went into the burning temple and ascended in the burning structure to the top and held up the key to the inner sanctuary and asked God to take it back because his people were not worthy to keep it and had not kept his house in order, his temple in order. And according to the legend, God reached down and took the key and is keeping it until his people return to a state of grace and are worthy to have it back, which would signify the start of a new age, a messianic age. So that legend really, really sings to me because there is a United Kingdom British version of the cover of the lost symbol, and on that version, you don't see it in America, you'll see it in England. There is this key, and one end of the key, the working end of the key, has Masonic symbols on it, and the other end, which is the handle or the bow of the key, is on fire. And I've looked around, and I don't see any other reason for that flaming key to be there, except perhaps that it signifies this legend of the Temple of Solomon. So, I just don't see any other reference to this kind of flaming key or fiery key or anything like that. Now, this legend, I never saw it again in print, so I don't know where to find, an accurate citation of it. But kind of nifty coincidence, I happened to see the movie Pi. This is a movie that's been around a little while, and it's sort of a cult movie. Fantastic movie. And in it, a large part of it has to do with seeking to find the 216-letter true name of God. And well into the movie, eventually a rabbi relates exactly the same story about the burning temple and the high priest and the hand of God. So that's the second time I saw it, in a very dramatic presentation of it. So that's my hunch, based on things I've seen, but no particular inside track to Dan Brown. And we'll see, of course, whether I'm completely wrong or completely right, or partially right or wrong, as we get to the release date of the book. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and look forward to the next hunch coming shortly. Check back regularly for updates from Dave Shugarts as we approach the release date of Dan Brown's new novel, The Lost Symbol. And look for
Secrets of the Lost Symbol.
coming soon from HarperCollins.